Hi everyone, my name is Tria Blue Wakpa. Before I begin today, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the Fernandeño Tataviam Band of Mission Indians, the indigenous peoples on whose land I stand. I'd also like to acknowledge the indigenous and South Asian peoples and lands from which yoga originates. Today I'm going to share with you Goddess Pose. There are different benefits to Goddess Pose. One is the strengthening of the entire lower body, the core, the shoulders, the arms, and the muscles of the back. Another is the opening of the legs, the hips, and the groin. And a third benefit, as you will feel, is that Goddess Pose is an intense pose that creates heat and warmth in the body. Before I share with you different variations of Goddess Pose, I wanted to show you the North American hand talk for Goddess. North American hand talk is Indigenous Sign Language. It was the lingua franca, which is a way of saying common language among tribes prior to English and colonization. So if tribes didn't have a shared spoken language or languages, they would have used North American hand talk to communicate with one another. But also, North American hand talk is used in conjunction with spoken language. I think in this way, it creates a more inclusive community. So for instance, young children who are not able yet to speak can sign, or elders who might have difficulty hearing are able to actively participate in community life. To my knowledge, there is no direct translation of goddess, but we might create a similar meaning by combining two signs. The first sign would be the sign for sacred. So to make that sign, you'll position your fingers like this, put them in front of the forehead, and spiral upward. So that's the sign for sacred. It also has a variety of other meanings. One meaning is mysterious, unknown, another is medicine, and a third would be the creator. The other sign I will show you is the sign for woman. So in the sign for woman, you'll take the hand, one hand or both hands to the hair and draw them through the hair as if combing the hair. Okay, so that's the sign for woman. So together, the sign for goddess looks like this. Sacred, woman. Now, in some indigenous cultures, many indigenous cultures actually, the understanding that women are sacred is foregrounded. So in some ways, I guess it would be possible to see these signs as repetitive. But also, I think given the way that colonization and patriarchy work, it can also be really important to emphasize the sacredness of women. Now I want to show you a few different variations of Goddess Pose. So let's meet on our mat. Today we're going to begin in Mountain Pose. So in Mountain Pose, the feet are together. You want to feel all four corners of the feet grounding. You're going to spread the toes nice and wide, and you're going to really connect with the earth. From there, you can feel the muscles of the legs engage. There's a slight tilt to the tailbone. And let's go ahead and take the shoulders with an inhale up to the ears, and then exhale, rolling them, relaxing them down the back body. And then we're gonna lift up from the crown of the head here. If you like, you can take your hands to prayer position in front of the heart, and we'll take 4 deep breaths here. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And last big breath, inhale and exhale. Good. So eventually in yoga, we begin to breathe in and out through the nose. So that may be something that you would like to try today. From here, we're going to take the legs into a wide stance. So you're going to heel toe the feet out. And then we're going to take a deep bend with the knees, coming into goddess pose. So that the feet should be turned out at 45 degrees. The knees should be over the ankles. Eventually the flat thighs will come parallel to the earth. There's the sensation here that the thighs are not rolling in, but instead there's an outward rotation. And you can bring the hands to the heart center. So just feeling goddess pose, really feeling the intensity of this pose. So the first variation that I'm going to show you is working on strengthening. So we're going to be coming in and out of the pose. So go ahead and straighten your legs here. We're going to inhale, reach the arms to the sky, and then exhale, have a seat. Draw the shoulder blades down the back body in what is often called cactus arms. Okay, a few more of those. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Good job. Coming all the way out of the pose. So from here, I'm going to show you another variation. You're going to take the hands, interlace the fingers behind the head, and then we're going to have a seat in goddess pose. We're going to inhale in the center and exhale to the side. So strengthening the obliques. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale to the side. Good, one more to each side. Exhale, inhale, coming back up, and then exhale to the side. Coming all the way back up. Good. And then go ahead and straighten the legs. Another variation I like in this pose is a side twist. So you're gonna go ahead and bend the knees nice and low. You're gonna take a deep breath and then exhale, coming forward. So same thing, really moving with the breath. Exhale, forward. And when you're doing your own practice, you can move with your own breath. So using your breath as a guide. And then exhale. Inhale back up and exhale forward. Good. One more to each side. Inhale, exhale. Good. And then coming all the way back, you could take your hands to heart center and then straighten the legs. So the last variation I will show you is more strengthening for the lower body. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find yourself in goddess pose, and then you're gonna come up onto the ball of the right foot. And we're just gonna take 2 breaths here. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Good, and then go ahead and release that, and we're gonna come on to the other side. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Good, and then releasing, standing all the way back up. So in this final variation, we'll come onto the balls of both of our feet and balance. One thing that will really help you is to find a point of focus in front of you, something that is not moving. And looking at that will help you to maintain your balance. Now, if you fall when you're in the pose, that's perfectly okay. That's why we're doing these poses, not to be perfect, but to practice. So if you fall out of the pose, you just come right back into the pose and try it again. So again, finding your goddess pose, and then we're gonna come up onto the balls of the feet here. So I'm gonna take my legs a little bit wider, come onto the balls of the feet, and taking a few deep breaths here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And one more breath. Come all the way up onto the balls of the feet. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then releasing the heels down, and we'll heel toe the feet back together, back into mountain pose. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.